What's up? I'm back. All right. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if it's my browser. I don't know if let's talk about live stream sustainability. Yeah, this is sustainability is going to be in the books with how to scale your business. Um I don't think it's my Chrome browser cuz I've been updating. I don't know what's going on. I need to chat GPT what the fuck's going on with my cuz if I open like multiple tabs, all of a sudden it stresses the system. All right. So, I'm going to try this. And if you lose me, then we're done. I'm going to go start shipping and fuck it. All right? So, bear with me if you want. All right. So, I'm going to type in baseball reference. Baseball reference. I'm going to keep talking. I don't know if I'm still here until I go back to the screen. Mike Trout. We're going to compare Mike Trout and Aaron Judge. All right. Hey. Red light says I need more RAM. Is that what it is? I'm slow on my screen. Is there a way uh uh, now I'm frozen. What's up? Does this is weird. Is my room flip-flopped? That was weird. So I ended the stream. I exited out of the internet. I deleted all the like Google history. No, it's not flip-flopped. So on my screen, my bobbleheads are over there. Usually they're over here on the screen, what I can see. So I'm like, this is very different for me. The screen looks completely different. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So Red Light said it's my RAM. So I was going through to try to clean up. So I don't know how the fuck do I do that? How do I clean up the RAM? I don't know. And I hate clearing history because then it wipes out passwords that I forget. and then I spend half my day trying to find passwords and log in. Like I'm dealing with that right now. Not all of my passwords transferred to my new phone. I can't get I don't know what my Google password is. I got to change all my fucking Google. So when I change it here, or when I change it here, then I got to go change it all everywhere. Every fucking where. Apple does help with that, which is awesome. However, my passwords did not transfer. All of my passwords did not transfer when I got my new iPhone. For Google, like the one that I need the most, did not transfer. From Apple. But I get what you're saying. If I had all Apple, well, I could it would probably help. It would probably be faster, but I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck I want to talk about today. Now I'm just pissed. I'm pissed at everything. Now I'm pissed about my fucking iPhone not remembering my password. So you know what I'm going to do? Right now, I'm just going to try to figure out what my password was. Of course, it probably doesn't know because I just deleted everything. Oh, wait, I think I'm still signed in. And you know what also sucks? I just want to get on a ban. I'm pissed at the world now. Manage my account. It doesn't say what my password. Oh, my password. Your device, use your passkey to confirm it's really you. Hopefully I can remember my password. Passkey. Let's see. All right, new password. Let's see if this works. All right, I think it changed. Let me see if I can get it now. All right, I'm just going to go. Where's my Google app? Google. No. Gmail. You know, but what's weird? Okay, this is really so. My password didn't transfer over on my old iPhone to my new iPhone, but I can still access my Gmail. That's weird. Isn't that weird? Okay, I got a new password. All right. Update password. Enter the code. Bazinga! All right, that's going to help tremendously. All right. Let's go to the chat. Where we at? He's back. So this is take 2 or 3. I don't know where we're at. Cooter says, let's talk about live stream sustainability. Let's not talk about, I'm not the person to talk about that. Tracy, good morning. Gundy says Trout in 2010, Judge in 2016. I think you're a little off. I think Judge was 2012, and I think Judge was 2017. Aaron Judge debut. Oh, Aaron Judge was 2016, end of 2016. Mike Trout. Ooh, maybe you're completely accurate. Oh, 2011. So I was a year off on both. Oh yeah, because Trout played like 40 games in 2011. Judge played a few games in 2016. So Judge is catching up. So the question in the previous stream that crashed was who's better, Mike Judge, Mike Trout, or Aaron Judge? I mean, you look at Mike Trout had. I was gonna say he had more than Don Mattingly type seasons. I mean, Trout led the big leagues in WAR in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight seasons. But then when he didn't lead the league in WAR, he was still at 7, 10, 8 WAR. He still had 6 WAR in 2022. But the last 2 seasons, he only played 29 games last year. He only had 1.5 WAR. Mike Trout only had 1.5 WAR this year in 130 games. So I know some people don't like WAR. So let's just look at the stat. Let's use batting average. You boomers. 232. A far cry from his 323, 315, 306, 312. 232 batting average for Mike Trout. His slash line this year was 232, 359, 439. Let's see, 26 home runs, 64 RBI. Struck out 178. Although in 2014 he struck out 184 times. So he's at 15 seasons. 15. He's played in 15 seasons, but 2011 he only played 40 games. 2020, of course, was the COVID year. He was injured in 2021, only played 36 games, hurt half the season in 2023, and missed most of 2024. So that's Mike Trout. His career WAR is 87.5. Aaron Judge is already at 62.3 WAR. And he's just been the last, Aaron Judge now. And here's the thing, though. Aaron Judge is already 33 years old, and he's going to be, when's he turn 34? In April. So basically, next year is his age 34 season, Aaron Judge. So when you look at over the course of a career, who knows what the future holds? Mike Trout may have a resurgence, may end up retiring. Same with Aaron Judge. Is it sustainable? Who knows? Aaron Judge is kind of like a power hitting Don Mattingly, because he's had some great seasons, but few of them. Aaron Judge has put together 4 or 5 great seasons. He's played in 10 seasons. Of course, his rookie year was only 27 games, and then of course we had the COVID shortened season. What was Don Mattingly? I feel like Don Mattingly ended up playing like 14 seasons, but he really fell off the face of the earth. Yeah. So Mattingly played in parts of 14 seasons. But he played 7 games in 82. So basically 13 seasons. And he had a 1, 2, 3, I think it was 6 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. and really not even 6 seasons where he was above average. Like I'm not even going to say great because his highest WAR was 7.2 in 1986. So looking at WAR for Mattingly, 6.3, 6.4, 7.2, 5.1, 3.7, 4.2, and then it was just pedestrian. He had a couple negative WAR seasons. 90 and 95. He had negative WAR seasons, Don Mattingly. His career WAR 42.4. Like Don Mattingly is not a Hall of Famer. Like I know he's beloved and he's a baseball lifer. Don Mattingly is not a Hall of Famer. Like look, those numbers are pedestrian. All right. Need more RAM. I need some RAM power. Must be all that Bears search history causing issues. Go Bears, 7-3. First place, Chicago Bears. Spectrum doesn't like your Bear predictions and cut back on your service. My gonna be accurate Bears predictions. That's when I just threw my hands in the air. Fuck it, I'm done. But then Cooter texted me and he's like, "Hey, we can still hear you." And I'm like, "How can you hear me? I ended the stream and I don't even have the internet open right now. How in the hell is it still picking me up?" That what brought that in. So then I'm like, I got to figure this shit out. Be sure to click like. Yeah, like this video. Oh, Max says, we hear you. Unicorn said, you could hear me when I didn't want you to hear me. You couldn't hear me when I wanted you to hear me. Unicorn says, I'm going to have to go back to opening packs on Arena Club if this persists. Gundy says, goodbye, finger red number 1. Oh, I think that was an emoji it pops up. Yo, you want a PvP? I don't know. I don't know what PvP stands for. So I'm going to say no on that. Unicorn says, I do wonder if he is actually talking right now, thinking we can hear him. He didn't realize stream is live. I sent him a text. Here I am. LOL, weird. Yeah, I need to. The only issue I ran into was when I changed phones, and then some of my passwords didn't switch over. It's like fuck. I've never had that issue when switching phones. I didn't either, but I had a poor experience with my. And again, I didn't go to the Apple store, Max. I went to the U.S. Cellular place, and it was like usually they're really helpful. This guy was not very helpful, and it was just like it was. I'll probably go to the Apple store next time. Let's talk about nobody making the Hall next ballot. That is the writer's ballot, the writer's ballot that was just released. Like there's nobody that's going to make it. I don't think. I'm afraid to use my browser up here, but let's see. I mean, I don't know if there still is. So I'm going to look at not Mr. Tibbs, who's on Blue Sky now. Like, does anybody use fucking Blue Sky anymore? Like, I had Blue Sky password didn't transfer to my new phone. It's like, I don't fucking care. I'm just going to delete the app. Nobody uses that fucking app except this guy does. Blue Sky. What the fuck? Go back to Twitter. Blue Sky. Let's see. Is this $2026? Okay. All right. So I think this is last year's results. Okay. So is there anybody from last year's ballot that is even close? Oh, there are some ballots that came in. All right. So shit, I'm on the wrong screen. Okay. So here's last year. So Andy Pettit last year was at 27.6%. He's not going to make it. This is Manny Ramirez's last ballot. And last year he got 34.5% of the votes. A-Rod, this will be his 5th ballot. He got 37% last year. Chase Utley had 44% last year. Chase Utley's a guy that could make it by his 10th ballot. Like, I mean, already at 44% on his second year, for whatever reason, people think as time goes on, baseball players are Hall of Famers that shouldn't be, like Chase Utley. So that's it. Like Chase Utley, I think, had the highest of returning, and there's nobody on this year's ballot that first timers. Ryan Braun, Shin-Soo Choo, Edwin Encarnacion, Gio Gonzalez, Alex Gordon, Cole Hamels, Matt Kemp, Howie Kendrick, Nick Markakis, Daniel Murphy, Hunter Pence, Rick Porcello. Those are the new players on the ballot. So it looks like we've got a few. I don't know if this is. No, I think this is just a placeholder. Have ballots been in? Let's see. Can I access this on Blue Sky? I don't want to create an account or sign in because I don't know my fucking password. Is he updating on Twitter? No. Well, I guess I'm not going to find out. Let's see. Dairyland Picker says it's not the iPhone's fault. Johnny M, good morning. Things are good. Dairyland Picker says keep a nice little notebook in a safe place that you can remember location. Thought you were a crypto investor. I am not a crypto investor. I am I dabble on like fucking Coinbase. So I just have to know my Coinbase password, which I don't think I know. In fact, I bet, let's see if Coinbase password transferred. Because I probably haven't looked since I got my new phone. Coinbase. We're waiting. Nope. Did not switch. So I don't have, like, I have like $400 or $500 in crypto, like junk coins. Let's see. And I do have here's the problem. Here's the problem I run into, because I've got a desk with passwords. Some just random. It's like a junk drawer with random passwords. But what happens is I have to change a password for whatever reason, and then I don't update my notepad. So then I dig it out. Like, oh, here's my password. It doesn't work. Orlando, what's going on? Good morning. Chris in the house. My web folks at work usually advise me to clear the cache on Google. It's easy when you Google clear cache, it tells you. I think I did. I went through and I like deleted everything in my settings. But I wanted to keep my passwords. Bazinga. Judge, Dairyland Picker says, hey, hi, howdy. Max says, I'll take Mike Judge out of the three. Beavis and Butthead alone is better than a few MVPs. I agree with that. Judge has much better average. Nice MD. Trout is still better defensively, much better, but I do think Judge will end up being better. Yeah, right now, I would say Mike Trout, career-wise, Mike Trout has a better career. But Judge will end up being better. How old is they're about the crazy thing is they're about the same age. These damn pop-ups. So Mike Trout is 34. Aaron Judge is going to be 34 in April. So Mike Trout and Aaron Judge will be the same age from April to August. They'll both be 34. Now, their career trajectories are going in the opposite direction. Mike Trout's going, pew, and Aaron Judge is going, pew. So, but I think when it all is said and done, I think Aaron Judge will definitely, And the reason why, it's not from a talent perspective, it's from health. Like Mike Trout can't stay healthy. Mike Trout likely won't have another big season. From here on out, I think Mike Trout's just a compiler. He put together 5-6 great seasons, and then some pedestrian seasons. And he's going to have enough. I mean, he already has enough to be a first ballot Mike Trout's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like that's it. Like he's done it. But Aaron Judge is going to catch up. Aaron Judge hasn't dealt with injuries, and who knows, maybe he does. Our bodies start falling apart as we age. Chris says, caught up on the recordings. Everyone, you say Pewaukee, it sounds like a made-up word denigrating Milwaukee. Oh, that old Pewaukee. Peter says, one of the things I find problematic with WAR is that it changes. So someone might have a 3.1 for a season, but then it might go up or down based on how they futz with how it's calculated. But with the futzing, it usually makes it more accurate. It's science. So I'm okay with that. It's not like, I mean, they're futzing with stats. It's not a made up number. It's a calculation on real statistics. And yes, that WAR number can change, but it's not changing the statistics that it's based on. It's still based on strikeouts, walks, OBP, OPS, slug, home runs, all that stuff. None of that changes. You're putting the same numbers to get maybe a different number. Dairyland Picker says World Series champ MVP, Judge. Max says, here's one thing on the two guys. Trout was the better player in the league for a good portion of his career without argument. Judge has possibly never been the best in any 1 year of his. I mean, that's debatable. I mean, who's like this year? I mean, yeah, Judge is playing with Ohtani in this, he's having great seasons, and at the same time, Ohtani is having great seasons. It's kind of like if you put Ohtani's numbers against Mike Trout when Mike Trout was the best player in the league, Mike Trout's not going to be the best player in the league either. But you have to deal with that. It's outside of Aaron Judge's control. But Aaron Judge has been the best American League player. And I don't think there's a debate on that. The last couple seasons, last 3-4 seasons. Cooter says Trout needs to go on a diet to hit his weight. It's over. Dairyland says MD, but what about when they've both been in MLB? Chris says Mattingly had a bad back. Mattingly, not a Hall of Famer, but Hall of Very Good. I agree. And of the 8 players on the contemporary era ballot, like Mattingly, if I had to rank them on most, I hate using the word deserving, but I'm going to say it anyway. Most deserving to least deserving, Mattingly probably is at 8. Actually, Fernando Valenzuela is probably at 8 in my book. I'd have to look at the numbers, but like Mattingly's definitely in the bottom. Because I think everybody else on that list, I'm putting Dale Murphy ahead of Mattingly. I don't think Dale Murphy is a Hall of Famer. I think he's on that borderline. Like, I wouldn't be mad if he got in. There's definitely more deserving players, but obviously there's a lot more. There's deserving players. There's, in my opinion, undeserving players that are in, but hey, Bonds and Clemens are at the top. Barry Bonds is number 1 by far on the contemporary era ballot for me. Barry Bonds should have been in yesterday. Should have been in 10 years ago or whenever he was first eligible. Barry Bonds, first ballot, should be unanimous. Roger Clemens right there with him. Roger Clemens would be number 2 on my ranking. Who else is in on that? I think my top tier, Bonds, Clemens, Bottom tier is going to be Valenzuela and Mattingly without question. Probably Dale Murphy. Jeff Kent's going to be right in the middle. Like, he's got good numbers. But I'm trying to think of who else. Who else is I always forget, and I usually leave one off. Now I'm forgetting like 4 of them. Max says the bulk of Trout's work had been done by that time, Derry. And Judges continues. It has combined the comments from all 3 streams. Interesting. Max says, correct. Like I said, as of now, it's still easily Trout. Once both careers are done, Judge. Who is the better player this minute? I don't think that's a question. This minute right now, Aaron Judge is a better player. Today. Career-wise, right now. Career-wise, Mike Trout. Max says, I think there are guys on the ballot that will get in eventually, but shouldn't, to be honest. I agree. It's going to be that 10 years from now, it's revisionist history. Oh, Chase Utley should be in. Chris says, U.S. Cellular is the service for old people. Well, I'm a boomer. Unicorn says, that's an awful group. Yuck, Utley. None of these guys are Hall of Famers. Agree. What qualifies guys for even getting on the ballot? 2 All-Star appearances and 5 seasons played. Wow. Because they want to have enough numbers, and it's based on, if they don't get a certain threshold of the vote, which none of these guys should get 5%. I mean, I'd fucking piss my pants if any of these guys get 5% of the vote. So they're going to be knocked off. So all of these guys won't be on the ballot next year. But I agree. It's like, why even, like, just make it a smaller ballot. Like, why do you have to have 40 or whatever the ballot is to choose from? Like, we all know that who Daniel Murphy. Like, why is Daniel Murphy on the fucking Hall of Fame ballot? Carlos Beltran and Andre Jones will get in. Didn't Beltran get in? I thought Beltran got in last year, or am I wrong? Let's see. 2025. Oh yeah. I did overlook Andrew Jones. So Andrew Jones got 70% of the vote. So I could see Andrew Jones getting in because there's nobody else. Let's see. Where's Carlos Beltran? Oh, and Carlos Beltran had 73.6% of the vote. Oh, I missed those guys. I missed the first few guys. Okay. So Jones had 70%. Beltran had almost 74%. So I could see Beltran getting in. And I think because there's nobody else, like, I could see one or the other getting in. I don't know. I don't know if will Andrew Jones get in. He's got to make up a lot of ground. I think Beltran doesn't need that much. Jones was at 70% last year. Beltran was at a tick under 74%. And with such a terrible ballot, I think Beltran will get in. For some reason, I was thinking Beltran got in last year. He was very close. Joe Carter or Fred McGriff? Oh, man, I'd have to look. So I don't know the numbers. Off the top of my head, Fred McGriff. But I'd have to look at Joe. Like, I don't know Joe Carter's number. I know some of the milestones Fred McGriff has, but I don't know Joe Carter's. McGriff is already in. Found treasures in the house. Max says Ohtani has been the best player in Judge's career. That is true. And Trout's career. Utley is Mattingly. Free Wirtz. Orlando says Sheffield should be in. Check out his WAR. Oh, yeah, Sheffield's on there. Chris says, if the writers consider character to not vote for Bonds, Clemens, etc., shouldn't Murphy get extra credit for being a great human being? Max says Chef should be as well. 500 plus is auto in for me. Peter says, I still don't understand how someone isn't a Hall of Famer one year, but then some other year he is. Same here. Like, and not only that, like 10 years. Like it took Larry Walker 10 years to get in. It's like, and a few people think put him on the Hall of Fame ballot and a few more next year and a few more the following year. Like I get if there's a lot, if you're limited to 10 players and because there were some ballots where there's 16 Hall of Famers, like going back just a few years ago. Like right now, I look and there's like I'm not an Andrew Jones guy. Like I think he's one of those borderline guys. I like Beltran. I think Beltran should be in. But there's been some years where, like this year for me, in my opinion, there's one Hall of Famer on the ballot. But in other years, there's been 16. And it's like, so I get if there's like 16 like legit Hall of Fame guys, like I get it. You may not be a Hall of Famer in this guy's eyes this year, but because there's so many, and that guy, and we had double-digit Hall of Famers on the ballot for a few years. And so, a guy like Larry Walker was probably at the end of that. Like he was number 14 or 15 for a few years. So I can understand in those, but a guy like who's on his like ninth, and Manny Ramirez is a different case because of the steroid stuff. But like Chase Utley, 44% last year in his second year on the ballot. He'll probably end up getting in because by year 10, it's going to be like, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, Chase Utley. It's like, Max says, money, Peter. It's all about money and being relevant. Dairy Land says, some people have so much money, that is all they have. Max says, I get it if there are a ton of guys that need to get a vote, but 1 to 3 years and then they should drop. I agree. But it's hard to, but then you'd have to change the rules. Then you've got to change the rules back and forth. Like, okay, you only get 3 years on the ballot, but if you have a 5-year stretch where you've got a log jam, like, is that fair? It's like, well, we're going to extend it. I guess they've done that because it went from, well, they dropped, it used to be, was it 15? You could vote for 15, and then they dropped that a few years ago to 10. So the contemporary era ballot, when that news, we're still a few weeks away, I think, from that. I want to look up the Joe Carter, Fred McGriff. So I don't know Joe Carter's numbers. He only has a 19.5 career WAR. He did have 396 home runs, but that doesn't do it. He was a Silver Slugger twice. No. Fred McGriff all the way. Not even a question. Let's look at Fred McGriff. Fred McGriff, 52.6 WAR. Now WAR is a compiling stat. 493 home runs, 284 career batting average. I'm just looking at McGriff had a couple of above 6 WAR seasons. He had a few above 5 WAR seasons, quite a few above 4 WAR seasons. He did compile some stats toward the end, from 2000 to 2004, he was just pedestrian. That's the word of the day. He did put up at age 35, which now we're talking about Aaron Judge and Mike Trout they're going to be 35 in a year. And it's like at age 35, Fred McGriff He still had a 4 WAR season at age 35. He had 3.7 WAR at age 37. He had 2.1 WAR at age 38 with my Cubbies. Fred McGriff's a guy that it's like, is Fred McGriff a Hall of Famer? Like, I know he is, but should he be? He's kind of one of those compilers. Like, I mean, in my rankings, he'd be towards, and I'm strictly speaking of modern. Like, I don't want to go back to the dead ball era. I don't want to go back to the 20s and 30s on that conversation, because so much is different. But among modern, like Fred McGriff's not a Hall of Famer in my eyes, or looking at the numbers. Like, that's just, he put together. I mean, what I like looking at is, I don't want to see a 20-year career with a bunch of 2, 3, 4, 0.2 WAR, 1.7, 1.4. Like, that's just, yeah. So like, I'm looking at those above 4 WAR. And really, I mean, 4 WAR is, Ian Happ is a 4 WAR player. So if you look at 4 WAR, I mean, you're looking at guys like Ian Happ, which I like Ian Happ, and he's a great player. But you wouldn't put Ian Happ in any Hall of Fame conversation. But then when you start looking at 5 and 6 WAR, then it's like, okay, now we're if you can put together a run of those. Fred McGriff didn't do that. 6 WAR in 88, 6.6, 6.2, 6.6 in 89, 5.2 in 90, 5.2 in 92. Those were his only above 5 WAR seasons. And then he had a couple 4 WAR. He had 4.2 WAR in 93, 4.6 in 94, 4.0 WAR in 99. That's it. Like, that's not a Hall of Famer. Let's see. Sheffield has better stats than McGriff. Sheffield probably has better stats than a lot of current Hall of Famers. Cooter says, from sustainability to Hall of Fame, we evolve. The algorithm likes the Hall of Fame talk better than the sustainability talk. But Tom Amansky is. The commercials are. Tracy says, I loved watching Sheffield and McGriff. Tesla says, I was so excited when the Cubs got Fred McGriff. Then he got here and absolutely sucked. Just for that, I hope he never gets in. Yes, I'm bitter. Now, to be fair, he was 37 when he came to Chicago. And he didn't suck. Well, he only played 49. He played 49 games in 2001 at age 37. Well, he was only there half the season, because a third of the season. He played 97 games in Tampa. He actually did pretty well in 2001 in 49 games. He slashed 282, 383, 559, and hit 12 home runs in 49 games. In 2002, he had 2.1 WAR, and this is age 38. He slashed 273, 353, 505, hit 30 home runs. Fred McGriff hit 30 home runs at age 38 for the Cubs. Like, that's I would say that's good. Like, he did well with the Cubs. Sheffield isn't a little suspect in PEDs. I think everybody who played in that era is, and I am pro. Let them in. Just let them all in. Open the door. We've already opened the door. Selig's in. Ortiz is in. Let them out. Let the rest in. Didn't you just say he had a positive WAR with us? Fred McGriff. Fred McGriff did, yes. He had a positive WAR in both seasons, including the half season he played in 2001 at age 37 and the 2.1 WAR he put up in 2002. I hate WAR, but being above average and nearing Social Security age is impressive. Yeah, that's actually better than I thought. And he was older than I thought. Like, I would have thought, like, if you would have asked me before I looked, how old was Fred McGriff when he played for the Cubs? I'd be like, 33, 34. 37 and 38. Pretty impressive. 30 home runs at age 38. Pretty impressive. For a guy that didn't like hit a lot of home runs in a single season. Yeah, he hit almost 500 in his career, 493. But what was Fred McGriff's highest home run in a single season was 36. And he did that at age 25. And then he hit 30 at age 38. Did he have any help? I don't know. Like he 36, 35, 35, 34, 31, 34, 31, 30. So it's not like he was bashing 40, 50 home runs a season. All right. Hey, who knew we were going to get almost an hour? We salvaged it. You can thank Cooter for this Hall of Fame talk. Because if it wasn't for Cooter's text, you'd probably still hear me typing and saying, Ernie, stop that. Ernie's still in bed. All right. I'm going to go make some coffee, get Ernie off to school, and do some shipping. Tonight, I'm back on eBay Live. I'm going to be running this tonight. Player-worn Pro Bowl jersey, Tom Brady. So this is numbered to $3.99. It says you just received an authentic player-worn Pro Bowl jersey card of Tom Brady. That's all. It doesn't say this was used in whatever season Pro Bowl. The only issue is somebody tried to take like the sticker off the top. So, but otherwise it's still encased from Topps. So I'm going to auction that off tonight. I've got a couple slabs. We're going to run quite a few slabs. We'll see how the night goes. So that's tonight, 7 o'clock Central. I'm going to take tomorrow off, likely tomorrow off, and I'll be back. I'm going to Chicago this weekend. I'll be at the Spectacular first thing as doors open. I'm going to do the VIP at 1 o'clock on Friday, and then I'll be there. I don't think I'm going to stay the whole day Saturday. We'll see. I'm still kind of gauging what my buying patterns will be. If I buy a whole bunch on Friday, I'll probably skip Saturday afternoon and just leave around lunchtime. But I'll do a live on Saturday night with all the goodies that I pick up. I'm looking to spend a lot of money at the Spectacular. So I'm going to have a lot of inventory because I really want to ramp up this month. I can already see I'm starting to see trends on increased viewership, increased spending. So want to take full advantage of that here during the holiday season. We got a good basketball game on tonight too in college basketball, Illinois, Alabama. That should be a good one. Vintage Sports Pursuit, I will not be doing that. I certainly will not be doing that. Orlando, have a great day. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Join me tonight, eBay Live. See you there.